So, you're planning to take the IELTS. Awesome. But you've probably already run into this one big question, a choice that feels surprisingly important. Well, today, we're going to get that sorted out for you.
Yeah, that's the big one, isn't it? Choosing the wrong test, well, that means wasted time, money, and a whole lot of effort. But don't you worry, because we're about to make this choice super simple. Let's start with a mental picture.
Okay, I want you to really picture this. You're standing at a fork in the road. That's exactly what this decision is. One path is going to take you to a university campus or maybe a professional licensing board. The other path, that one leads to a new country for work or to join your family. See, your goal literally determines which path you take.
All right, so let's take a closer look at this fork in the road. What's the real, fundamental purpose of each one of these paths? Here it is in a nutshell. On the left, you've got the academic test. This is for anyone heading into higher education. We're talking university degrees, or if you're trying to get professionally registered in an English-speaking country, like becoming a doctor or an engineer. Now on the right, you've got the general training test. This one's for things like migration, for work experience, or for studying at a level that's below university degree, like a high school. So the main takeaway here is where you're going dictates the test you need. Simple as that.
Now, before you start stressing about all the differences, let's actually make this decision even easier by looking at the common ground. What parts of these two tests are exactly the same? This is where the good news comes in. That's right, you heard me correctly. This should make your prep way easier. No matter which path you end up taking, the listening and the speaking sections are 100% identical. So half of your studying is already covered whichever way you go. That's got to be a relief, right? So what do these sections actually look like? Well, the listening test is about 30 minutes long, and you'll listen to 4 different recordings. The speaking test is pretty quick. It's just an 11 to 14-minute face-to-face chat with an examiner. The key thing to remember is consistency. It's the same format, the same type of content, and the same scoring for both IELTS tests.
Okay, now for the big divide. This is where those two paths really split off from each other. We're talking about the reading and writing sections. And this is where the differences really start to matter.
Let's start with the reading section. For the academic test, get ready to tackle 3 long, pretty complex texts that are pulled from journals and books. The language is very analytical, sometimes even a little abstract. But for the general training test, it's totally different. The texts are from everyday life. Think company handbooks, advertisements, magazines, stuff that's much more practical and about real-world situations.
And that divide keeps going right into the writing section, but mainly just in task 1. For the academic test, you'll get a graph or a chart or a diagram, and your job is to describe and summarize what you see. For general training, though, you'll be writing a letter. It might be a formal complaint or just an informal note to a friend. Now, task 2 is an essay for both tests, and the topics are pretty general, so the skills you need for that part are actually very similar.
So here it is, all laid out. This table gives you the core differences at a single glance. You can see really clearly that the academic test is all about interpreting data and complex articles, while general training focuses on everyday reading and practical skills like writing a letter. Think of this table as your ultimate cheat sheet for the big divide.
So, we've covered the purpose, we've gone over the similarities, and we've drilled down into the differences. How do you put all of this together and confidently, finally, choose your path? It all comes down to this really simple 3-step plan. First, get crystal clear on your main goal. Is it to study, to work, to migrate? Second, you need to know the specific organization you're applying to. And third, and listen, this is without a doubt the most important step. You have to confirm directly with them which test they actually require.
This is it. This is the one thing you absolutely cannot forget. The golden rule. Don't assume. Don't guess. The university, the immigration department, the company you're applying to, they have the final say. Go to their website, send them an email, call them, find out their exact IELTS requirement. This one little step will save you from making a very costly mistake.
So, that fork in the road we talked about, it should look a whole lot clearer now. You get the purpose, you know what's the same, and you know exactly what's different. You've got a clear action plan. So the only question left is the one only you can answer. Which path is yours?